Hey there, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I'm going to talk today about whitewashing fruit trees. When you start growing fruit trees, you want to protect them and give them the biggest chance of success that you can. I mean, after all, you're investing a lot of time and sometimes a lot of money in these trees, and they need to live year after year after year and have every advantage given to them. Good watering, good soil, good placement in the sunlight, protection from pests. You want to give them the best advantage you can. The thing is, when we buy these little trees, they've come from the nursery, having lived all their sapling life, their little tree life, all packed together in the nursery, where the canopy of the leaves at the top of these trees were all packed together as these thousands of trees were together. Well, once you bought yours and brought it home, you took it away from that protective group where it was always shaded, and now you've got these trees with their fresh, tender, young bark exposed to the direct sunlight, the harsh direct sunlight. And that can cause trouble. Not always, but is it worth risking? That can cause a lot of trouble, especially in arid climates where you've also got dry air working against you, along with the solar radiation from the sun. This can scar your trees, this can kill your trees. It's called sunburn, and in the wintertime it's called sun scald, because the sun working in conjunction with the cold temperatures can cause your trees to really get in some trouble. I'll show you some winter sun scald in just a little bit and show you what it looks like. So what people have been doing to protect their trees is to give them some protection, literally painting them white or painting them with some kind of cover that reflects the solar radiation away from the tree. This is my muscadine grape. Got us a monster living in there. This is my muscadine grape. Look at the damage. This was fully barked before this winter, yet now, because of the cold and the sun, we've got some damage here. This is not simply growth. This is damage from an extreme freeze that we had that came with a lot of sunshine as well. Yeah, that's what can happen. I have never painted these vines. I've never considered painting these vines. They've always just hummed right along and done their thing without any trouble, but we had a harsh winter. Had this tree had some paint on it, some of this Ivy Organics plant guard, perhaps that would have offered some insulation, especially if you put it on a little bit thick. Most of the time you see people talking about whitewashing their trees, they suggest using a latex house paint. Just go and get yourself an outdoor latex house paint, cut it half and half with water, and paint your tree trunk. The problem with that is it's not organic. It's a latex house paint. Do you really want that on your fruit trees? It's also, if you put it on thick enough, it forms a plastic covering that's not permeable to air or water. It's a plastic, literally, it's a liquid plastic you're brushing onto your tree. And while it will reflect the light of the sun away, it has its downsides. And the downsides are, well, it seals up what should be a living tissue that breathes and transpires moisture and gases. That bark is living, especially that young bark, like a citrus bark that's green. That needs to be able to transpire. And if you paint it with a big coating of plastic, that's not going to help. Other uses of that white latex paint is when you prune your tree, you'll see people suggest you paint over the cuts that you made, especially the larger cuts. And they even sell tar-based products, oil-based products that are supposed to seal those wounds. But you don't want that wound sealed. That wound needs to breathe. But you do want to exclude insects and boring things from getting into that wood where you've made that fresh cut. That's a vector for disease and insects. So what do we do if we don't want to use latex paint and tar-based products? Well, I found a product many years ago on my own, and it's called Ivy Organics Whitewash. They've got the whitewash that you can mix up and put on your trees, and they've also got the same product but with added protection, the Ivy Organics protection against sunburn, insects, and rodents. This has essential oils in it, as well as the base. The base of this is diatomaceous earth. And you mix that up with some water and the diatomaceous earth, and it forms a paint that when you put it on and it dries, because it's diatomaceous earth, there's microscopic air gaps in between all the chunks, all the little microscopic bits of diatomaceous earth. There's air gaps there, so this stuff can breathe. It's not a sealer. It is a protector, though. It's like it will reflect the light, but because it's diatomaceous earth, it also offers protection from insects, because to an insect, this is like a layer of broken glass, and they're not going to be prone to chew through this stuff very readily. So I really like this product. I found it on my own before I was an affiliate, and I used this and told you guys about it on my channel. You can go search my channel and see that video. I'm not just stumping this stuff because I'm an affiliate now. I really believe in it. I like it. I think it's great stuff. It's totally organic. It's diatomaceous earth. That's good for the garden. It's good for your plants, and I really like it. So I want to show you how to use this stuff today. It's really easy. I've got a fresh tree, a brand new tree that's got some dark, tender young bark. It's an apple tree, and it needs to be painted because, well, it's sunny. It was 92 degrees today. That's crazy. Let's go mix some up. I'm going to mix up a batch of this 3-in-1 plant guard, and the color is called grayish. They've got several colors. They started out with just your white, and white is the ideal reflector. But let's say you wanted it to look a little, you don't want a stark white trunk. You can get grayish. They've got a brown. That's the last color I used was brown. And I'll show you what that color looks like after a couple of months of being on a tree. But I'm going to mix up this grayish, and I'll show you how to do this if I don't stick my screwdriver into my hand. It comes with the diatomaceous earth in a packet, just like so, and hopefully you don't spray yours all over your countertop like I just did. And then down in the bottom is this little vial, and here's where the magic is. This is the essential oils. Now you can mix this stuff up thin, or you can mix it up relatively thick. I like to have some thickness to it, but I like it still to be brushable. So I'm going to dump this in here. Try not to breathe in the dust of the diatomaceous earth. It does not break down and will live in your lungs until you die. All right. Now that I've made a huge mess, I'm going to start off with just a little bit of water in here. It takes a little bit of work because the diatomaceous earth naturally wants to not take up water. So it's going to take some stirring and a bit of work. We're just going to start stirring and mixing until we get the consistency that we want. It's better, I have discovered, in my opinion, to start off with less water than you think you'll need, because when it's thick in there, the thickness actually helps to break up all the little chunks of diatomaceous earth and get everything hydrated when it's thick. And again, I like it a little thicker. You can make a paste like this and use that paste to seal up your large pruning cuts if you have large pruning cuts. You can see how these chunks in there are sometimes hard to get broken up. I can feel it down there on the bottom. That's what we're looking for. I can thin that down to a paintable consistency, or I can use it just like that. But here's what we got to do next. We got to take the vial of essential oils. These essential oils are what make this stuff repel certain kinds of insects and rodents. Also makes it smell really good. And we'll stir that in there. Yeah, I like the smell. Here's my new tree. What we have here is a King David apple tree, and you can see this bark, this slick, shiny, dark bark. Well, it's now exposed to direct sunlight, whereas, when it was being raised, it had others around it. This needs to be painted. This needs to be protected from sunburn. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our paint that we just mixed up. I'm going to save my label here. I like to use just a cheap paintbrush. These are 50 cents at Home Depot. And we're just going to paint the tree. Now you can see it's pretty thick stuff. I like it that way. The thicker it is, to me, the easier it goes on. And I just feel like a nice thick layer will help insulate this tree and discourage any pests and rodents. But we're just going to paint this whole thing. And you can paint right over the buds. They'll just shove right on through. It dries rather chalky to the feel. That's because it's got that diatomaceous earth. And it's that chalkiness that tells you that it's porous and breathable. Chiefly though, what we're wanting to do here is protect against the sun. Especially a dark bark like this, it's prone to burn. This grayish color matches some barks. Some of these apple trees are about this color. This one's a little darker though, but I need to cover this apple tree so I don't lose it. It's got beautiful apples on it. And I've been risking it by leaving it uncovered, unpainted. So, might as well put some paint on here while I've got the paint mixed up. Because, like I said, this stuff doesn't keep very, only mix up as much as you think you're going to need. You can always mix more, but don't mix the whole thing and only use a little bit. If you'd like 10% off of Ivy Organics products, including 3-in-1 Plant Guard, go to their website, shop, fill up your cart, and at the end, when you check out, use my promo code Gumbo10, and you'll get 10% off of your order. There's a ladybug in there, that's good to see. 10% off your order, and you'll be supporting this channel and getting an excellent product to boot. All right, we've painted a couple trees today. This apricot tree was painted when I first put it in about New Year's Day. You could see I painted this with the brown color and it almost matched the bark. But you can see, because I painted it really thin, and as this tree is growing, it's not just flaking off and falling into my soil like a latex paint would do. It just expands with the tree and it's still there. It's got a few gaps in between, it's starting to get thin because the tree's growing. But it's not dropping anything bad into my lawn. It's still offering protection. And we could come back over and put some more paint on this tree if we wanted to. But it's still got enough of the previous application on there to make me confident that it's not going to burn. But I mean, you could come back if you had some mixed up and just paint the tree again. Mostly on this side. This is the side that gets the sun, the majority of the sun. All right, so there we go. One of the best solutions to the whitewashing problem that is out there. No latex, no tars, no petroleum-based products, no oil-based products are being put on your tree. You're putting diatomaceous earth, an organic product. Organic, porous, breathable, repels insects. You can't beat this stuff. It's a brilliant solution, actually, for whitewashing our trees in a safe manner. And what's better, it's made in the USA. These guys make this stuff here. It's not shipped from overseas where it's made of cheap materials and just slapped with a new label. No, they make this stuff. So go support an American company supporting you in your garden. Hey, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I hope that you maybe learned something today and maybe found something, a product line you might like to try. I hope that you are growing good in your spring garden or in your orchard. Hope you go out and buy some fruit trees and plant some fruit trees today so that you will benefit from them in the future. Happy gardening to you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.